All right, Steeler Nation, here we go again. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a franchise that never settles. This is a team that is constantly looking for ways to improve, to evolve, and to put itself in the best possible position to compete for championships. And right now, as we head deeper into the 2026 offseason, it's clear that this organization is doing everything it can to fine-tune the roster and bring better results to the field this season. But before we dive into today's explosive update, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because you already know we're bringing you the hottest Steelers news and analysis every single day. Steelers Nation, if you want the official Steelers store, the link is in the description and the comment. Tons of new Sideline gear and hoodies available. Now let's talk about something that could completely reshape the future of this team. Because there's a very real possibility that one of the Steelers' top defensive stars could be on the move, and the potential destinations are turning heads across the league. We're talking about Alex Highsmith. Yes, that Alex Highsmith, one of the most consistent, disruptive, and underrated edge rushers.
The Lions are building something special. Pairing Highsmith with Aiden Hutchinson, that would be a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. And the 49ers? Imagine putting Highsmith on the same defensive front as Nick Bosa. That's not just dangerous, that's terrifying. But here's the catch. If the Steelers even consider making this move, it won't come cheap. We're talking about serious draft capital, possibly multiple high picks, because you don't just give away a player like Alex Highsmith unless you're getting something massive in return. And that's where the internal debate begins. Do you keep all three edge rushers and deal with the financial squeeze later? Or do you make the tough decision now, trade Highsmith, free up cap space, and invest in the future? Because let's be honest, this isn't just about 2026. This is about 2027 and beyond. With Herbig's extension kicking in and Watt's contract still massive, the Steelers could find themselves in a very tight cap situation if they try to keep everyone. And sometimes, in the NFL, having too much talent at one position can actually become a problem. It sounds crazy, right? But it's real. Because you can't pay everyone. And you can't maximize everyone's potential if there simply aren't enough snaps to go around. If Highsmith stays, you're limiting Herbig's development. If Highsmith goes, you lose depth and proven production. It's a classic win now versus build for the future dilemma. And right now, the Steelers are walking that tightrope. But that's not the only intriguing storyline unfolding in Pittsburgh. Because while the defense is dealing with potential blockbuster decisions,
Because there's no realistic scenario where the Steelers carry 4 quarterbacks into the regular season. Someone has to go. And if the team can turn Howard into valuable draft capital or fill another need, that's a move that could pay off big time. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean Howard isn't talented. In fact, quite the opposite. He's shown flashes. He's impressed in camp. He's done everything you'd want from a young quarterback. But in the NFL, it's not just about talent. It's about timing. It's about opportunity. And it's about fit. And right now, the numbers game might be working against him. What makes this even more interesting is the way the Steelers have been talking about him publicly. The praise has been loud, consistent, almost strategic. And that's why some believe this isn't just natural excitement. It's positioning. It's marketing. It's the front office doing everything it can to maximize value. Now, whether that plan actually turns into a trade, we'll have to wait and see. Training camp in Latrobe is going to be huge, because that's where decisions start to take shape. That's where roles are defined. And that's where the future of this roster will become clearer. But one thing is certain. The Steelers are not standing still. They're making moves. They're thinking ahead. And they're not afraid to make difficult decisions if it means putting the team in a better position to win. And that's what makes this franchise so dangerous. Because what started as an unfortunate injury might end up creating a massive opportunity. We're talking about
Coming out of college, Ian Acor was seen as a raw talent, a player with incredible physical tools, size, strength, mobility, but also someone who needed time to adjust to the speed of the NFL, time to refine his technique, time to grow. In many ways, he mirrors the path that Broderick Jones himself took coming out of Georgia. High upside, but not a finished product. The difference now? Opportunity. Because with Jones's status uncertain, Ian Aquor is getting something that most rookies at his position rarely get this early. A real shot. And that's where things get exciting. Because early reports from camp and practice sessions suggest that Ian Aquor is not just holding his own, he's turning heads. And when you hear who's giving him praise, it carries even more weight. Nick Herbig, one of the most dangerous edge rushers on the roster, had this to say about the rookie. He's really talented. A guy that size who can move, has good hands. I've said this before, but I think playing tackle in the NFL as a rookie is one of the hardest things to do. It's just a different game. That's not just a compliment. That's respect. Because Herbig is the kind of player who exposes weaknesses. If a tackle isn't ready, he'll find out very quickly. And yet Herbig is earning recognition from him. That tells you something. But it doesn't stop there. Dylan Cook, who is also competing for a starting spot, had this.
But the ability to learn quickly is what keeps you on the field. And right now, Iheanacho is doing exactly what the coaching staff wants to see. He's working under offensive line coach James Campen, one of the most respected minds in the game. He's going up against elite pass rushers every single day in practice. He's being tested. And so far, he's responding. Now imagine this scenario. Training camp continues, preseason games roll around, and Iheanacho keeps improving, keeps developing, keeps proving that he can handle the pressure. At some point, the coaching staff is going to have a decision to make. Do you stick with the original plan and wait for Jones to return? Or do you ride the hot hand? Do you trust the rookie? Because if Iheanacho shows he's ready, really ready, this could change everything for the Steelers' offensive line. And not just for 2026. We're talking long-term implications. Because finding a reliable tackle, especially one on a rookie contract, is one of the biggest advantages a team can have in today's NFL. It gives you flexibility. It gives you stability. And it gives your quarterback the protection he needs to succeed. So while this story started with an injury, it's quickly turning into something much bigger. It's about opportunity. It's about development. And it's about the possibility that the Steelers may have found something special when they needed it most.